Hey everybody, I'm back. I just had a little vacation out of town, went to Mexico for a few days, and it's good to be back. I actually didn't take really any technology with me except for my phone, just for emergencies, and it was kind of nice. I actually had some staff paper and wrote some music with a pencil. Haven't done that in what seems like years. Today, we're going to talk about selection-based processing. And this is a newer feature. It's something that you can get in our functions menu right here. And it's pretty awesome. So it's not as full featured as I would like it to be. For instance, if I'm working on an audio file and I load in an equalizer, doesn't really matter with what, and I process this clip, and that's what this will do. It'll process just this clip. It won't put any plugins on your track. What I would like to be able to do is the same thing you can do in Cubase and Nuendo, which is to go back into the process list, have this EQ still sitting here, change something in any of the plugins in my chain, and be able to reprocess the whole thing. So as it is, I can make a list of plugins and I can render it into that file. But that's really it for the moment. Now, we can save this channel strip setting, which is kind of nice. So we can save what we're doing and we can get back to the original, but it's just this disconnect. It's not quite as easy as it could be. So essentially what we're doing is putting different plugins here, and we can load full plugin chains if we want. And we select a piece of audio and click apply. We can even pre-listen, but if we apply, it'll change the audio. Now at this point we can do an undo, just like that. The other thing we can do is add a second list of these, because if we're doing a bunch of different plugins, it's kind of nice to be able to go back and forth between the two of these. It does help. Down here in our settings, you can see pre-listen enable solo, pre-listen enable cycle, just a couple options. I think one of the most important things about this whole thing, though, is to create a new take. So if I have this original file, I've got a row of plugins here, we click apply, you'll see the new one is now the top take and the original is the bottom. So I can pretty easily come through and go back to that original without having to do any searching or figuring out. I almost always do a new take, and so we can go back and forth between those. So this is actually pretty useful. Say we have this and we want to come through and do some cool effects with this. So for instance, if I want to go back and forth between these two takes on every beat. So I'm going to click on here with my scissor tool. I'm going to push the option. It'll add that plus, and I'll let it go right on the downbeat. You'll see that it cuts that same amount all the way through the entire file. So let's close out of here for a second. Now I can pretty easily, if I want to, hold the shift key down. I can go back and forth between these different ones on that beat. So this one's going to play the old, the new, the old, the new. All kinds of really cool things we can do with this using this feature, which is really cool, this selection-based processing. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this little mini, and I will see you all later this week.